Hello, everyone, and welcome to the class. My name is Emma Osley, and I'll be your instructor for Introduction to Art History, 1400 to the present. Now, this is the second class in a series of two that we offer in the art history department that cover kind of the breadth of art history in what is known as the Western world. You don't need to have taken that first course at all. There's no prerequisites for this class, but some of you may have already had that background. If you haven't, nothing to worry about at all. We'll give you all the tools that you need in this class to succeed. I just want you to know that there is another course that covers that kind of prehistory, what we think of as the classics, up to 1400. So we won't be going over that information during this course. So I'm not going to go through the entire syllabus because it's there for you to look at yourselves and go through and get all that wonderful information. But I do want to go through some of the most important parts. So you'll see here that we have a very, very short winter semester. It's just over, or maybe just under 3.5 weeks. We go from December 23rd to January 14th this year. It's an intensive course. And when I say intensive, I mean intensive, right? So during the fall and spring semesters, this class is taught over a period of 4 months. So you'll have 2 class meetings that are, an hour and a half lecture. You'll have weekly readings, weekly responses, your standard exams, a midterm, a final. All of that information that happens over 4 months is condensed into only 3.5 weeks during the winter semester. And that's why you're only allowed to take 1 winter course. So that makes this format, of course, the most challenging because everything is just so jam-packed. It also allows you to really hyper-focus on the class and mastering this content and learning these skills, which is, a great way to learn art history, actually. Please note that the course is completely asynchronous and will take place completely on Canvas. And because it is completely asynchronous, you can complete things at your leisure. There are obviously due dates, which we will discuss, and those are hard deadlines. But this kind of course will give you the opportunity to schedule things as needed. If you have a day that you have a family gathering or you're visiting friends, you can work ahead a little bit and make sure that you get that day's work completed in advance. That way you don't have to worry about it and you can go and you can enjoy or go to work or see your family, your friends, whatever it is that you feel like you want to be doing over your winter break. So my contact info, my email's listed here. It's also listed in the syllabus and on the Canvas site. You can email me at any time. If you email me at 3 a.m., I can't promise that I'm going to respond right away. In fact, I probably will not, but I will be sure to try to answer all of your emails within 24 hours. I know that this is a short session, so emails are going to be even more anxiety driven and a little bit more frustrating to not get an answer right away. So I'll try to respond to you all as soon as I possibly can. I can do office hours pretty much at any time. We'll schedule them via Zoom by appointment only. I'm not going to hold particular hours, especially because I know some of you will have your own crazy schedules. Some of you are probably international. So we'll figure something out. Just shoot me an email and we'll set up a time and we'll make sure that we get you the information and the help that you need. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of the syllabus, like I said before. Not the entire thing. There's a lot of pages of policies and support services and other specifics, requirements for taking a course in the core, requirements for using Canvas, Canvas help guides, all of that stuff. So we're just going to talk about the assignments themselves and kind of the structure of the class. So one of the things that is really important to know and to know early is that you will need to use the lockdown browser with a webcam to take your cumulative exam at the end of the semester. So if you are living internationally and you have difficulty accessing, you've got to let me know as soon as possible. One of the assignments that is worth a few points is doing a Respondus practice quiz. And that will let you kind of just click through, get a little bit more comfortable with it, and make sure that your computer is set up properly so that when you go to take the final exam, there aren't any crazy technical issues that get in the way of you completing your work. That does require a webcam and a microphone. That can be built in or it can be separate, but this is just something important to note because if you don't have one, you will need one in order to do that final exam. And we'll just go through the assignments, and this is basically the structure of the class. So each day of the week, meaning Monday through Friday, we're going to cover one topic in the course. They're all arranged as separate modules. There's 14 topics in total. You are responsible for completing all of the activities listed under each topic's module, and that includes the readings, the lecture videos, the chapter quizzes, if there are written assignments, anything along those lines. And again, you can work ahead if it's helpful for your schedule. I'm more than happy to allow you guys to do that. But you cannot work backwards. So if you miss module 2, you can't go back and redo module 2. So make sure that you are working in time with the course or ahead. You cannot work behind, because this is the kind of course that if you procrastinate even a little bit, you can fall behind so drastically and so easily and really risk failing the course. So video lectures and readings. For every topic, there will be a lecture video, some amount of readings, maybe other smaller videos, and they'll be outlined in that schedule, which is available in the syllabus. It's available in the homepage of Canvas. You can see it in your modules. The lecture videos will average probably about 30 minutes or so each. And again, because it's an intensive class, you do need to plan to spend several hours each day viewing the lectures, reading the required readings, taking the quizzes, writing the essays, doing your other assignments, studying, all of that. You have to be really diligent in the winter semester to succeed and organized, because time is the biggest challenge of the winter session, not the material itself. Make sure that you still take extensive notes, just like you would for an in-person class. You are responsible for knowing all of the works of art and the vocab shown in the video lectures for the quizzes and the cumulative exams. The readings support the material, provide more context, all kinds of wonderful stuff, and they're really necessary to understand the course as a whole. Each lecture will also be available as a PowerPoint, just like a set of slides. For the final exam, I'm only going to choose object in those slides, so make sure to use them as a guide for studying. Now note, when you go to take your quizzes and your weekly essays, those can come from any of the images discussed during that module and that week's video lectures. So don't just skip out on them when you're writing your notes and you're paying attention, because that stuff might come up in those quizzes and in that kind of weekly, daily stuff. The topic quizzes will be 10-question quizzes each for each module, meaning each topic, with 30 minutes to complete the quiz. So again, this is just kind of like a Spitfire test to see if you were paying attention. It's a way of kind of confirming attendance more than anything. You can absolutely use your notes. That's why it's important to take good notes, because if you can just flip through your notes and grab the answers to the questions, you should go really pretty quickly. You also will have short essays. Now, you won't have short essays every day, but you will have about one a week. They're expected to be 250 to 350 words. You can always write over if you feel like you need more space to get all of your information out, but you should never, ever, ever be under 250. That is a very, very hard word count limit. And note that citations do not count towards your word total. This is an issue that we've had in the past several semesters. So it's just something that you really need to think about as you are writing your work. Try not to do the absolute bare minimum. Make sure that you fully flesh out all of the ideas and answer every question posed in the prompt. So you are to use the video lectures and the readings for support, but you cannot at any point consult outside sources. These are not research papers. These are based on assessing and looking at your understanding of the course material, not the material that comes from outside of the course. And there is a lot of it, but I don't want to know how well you can Google the Mona Lisa, for instance. I want to see how well you understand the material that's being presented and how well you can kind of string them all together into really cohesive, well thought out analytical responses. You'll find an essay etiquette document in that first module on Canvas. And that's really, really important for helping you formulate these responses. It'll give you tons of tips, and it's kind of like a style guide for art history. So that will be important, not only for these short essays, but also for the final exam. You can think of the short essays as a way of practicing for the final exam, because these kind of short responses will be a big part of that cumulative exam at the end of the semester. They also may not be submitted late, just like the quizzes. And you must cite your sources. Now, I know I just said you can't consult outside sources, but you're getting your information from somewhere, right? You're getting your information from the video lectures and from the readings, and Rutgers takes academic integrity extremely seriously. So you will need to cite the lecture videos and the assigned texts. You don't need to include a works cited at the end of the essay. In fact, that really doesn't do what it is that I'm looking for. What I want to see is in-text citations, so in parentheses, placed directly at the end of the sentence where you are referring to information that you've gotten from the videos or from the texts. So I give examples here, topic 4 lecture, and then just, an estimation of what the timestamp is. Or this one would be an online text. That's the name of the authors, paragraph 2 or page 2, whatever it happens to be. And you do need to refer to both the lectures and the readings in these essays, because these are supposed to be really well-woven responses, explanations from all of the course material. You'll also write a comparison paper. So the comparison paper is a comparative analysis of 2 works. There will be a list, and it's basically to see if you can take what you're learning in class and apply it to something you've never thought of before, apply it to your daily life, that kind of thing. You'll see really specific guidelines on Canvas. I also don't have a slide for it, but towards the beginning of the semester, you also will have a formal analysis essay. And that basically is a way of practicing how to look at art and how to talk about art in a visual, formal, analytical way. Then you will also have the cumulative final exam at the end of the semester. So this is one final 2.5-hour exam for the course. We don't have a midterm. It will take place Friday, January 14th, and it will be available from 12, meaning noon, to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's really important. If you're international and that's like a crazy time frame for you, please just let me know and we'll work something out. I don't want anyone to have to take a final exam at 3 a.m., for instance. So it is timed, so completing it at the proper time is imperative. If you don't start it until 5 o'clock, the system will automatically boot you at 6 p.m. So make sure that you really prepare in advance for this. There will be instructions and study guides. We'll talk about it a little bit more, 5 to 7 days before the exam will happen, okay? And again, if you're an international student or you live in a different time zone and that exam time is like really crazy for you, please just contact me no later than January 10th so that we can make alternate arrangements. And then again, unless prior arrangements are made, and those arrangements really would have to be something special, something crucial, something documented, no late assignments will be accepted during this short intensive semester. I will occasionally make exceptions. Obviously emergencies happen, if you're in an ambulance because something happened and you're in the hospital, that's a different situation. But I do require documentation. Okay. So if you end up in the hospital or, there's a funeral or whatever, anything that it might be, emergencies happen and I completely understand. Send me the visual documentation and we will come up with a game plan to get you back on time and not have a late penalty and all of that other. I want to work with you all and see you all be successful in this class. Make sure that you notify me immediately in the case of an emergency that has documentation. Do not wait. And then lastly, we have this course calendar. So this will be kind of like your holy grail this semester. This is really, really important. This gives you all of the deadlines, all of the due dates. Everything that is due is always due at midnight that day. So you have one topic a day. Thursday, December 23rd, topic 1, Friday, December 24th, topic 2, and then you have that weekly essay. That first one is due that Friday. So then if we move to the next week, topic 3 on one day, topic 4, topic 5, topic 6, topic 7, we have one of those weekly short essays due on that Friday, and that will include information from topic 3 through topic 7. You also have your first paper due that week. The formal analysis is due December 28th. There are very specific directions already listed on Canvas, so you can go ahead and get started on that, reading that, working your way through it. The week after, again, we have topic 8 through topic 12. You'll have an essay at the end of the week that includes all of it. And then that practice respondus lockdown quiz, it's 2 questions. You don't have to study for it, but you do have to do it by January 4th so that we know that everyone has a functional working system with the proper webcam and the proper microphone to get your final exam lockdown browser working perfectly. And then the week after, we have topic 13 and topic 14. This is kind of a funky week because the final exam's there. Your short essay number 4 is due on Tuesday because it's only those 2 topics. Then the comparison paper, which is another big paper, due on Wednesday. And then you have a full day just for study. The beginning of the final exam then is January 14th, that last day of the semester, and it'll be available for those 6 hours. You can take it at any point in those 6 hours that works for you, but you do need to make sure that it's done in that time. Now, I also have these 2 slides of important terms. I'm not going to go through all of these very specifically, but it is important that you read through them on your own. Some of these words feel very normal and very casual for some of you. Aesthetic, for instance, is a really popular one right now. What's important is that you go through this list of terminologies because this explains what the meaning of the word is in an art historical sense. Please note that this is an art history class. It's not an art appreciation course. So while I would love to see you all, love and appreciate all of the artwork that we are looking at in this course, it's not an art appreciation class. It's an art history class. So you have to think about it more like a combination between a history course and an English course. Say the history of a novel that you're reading in English. So there's a little bit of, appreciation and looking at and knowing what's going on in the novel, but then you also need to understand the background of it, the history, the social status, the politics surrounding it when it was published. All of that kind of applies to art history and the way that we're going to look at art this semester. So just make sure you note these terms and you spend some time reading through them, because some of the things that you thought you knew or thought you knew the exact definition of are talked about very differently from an analytical art historical background. Other than that, I'm very excited to have you all in class with us this semester. Please feel free to send me an email at any time if you have a question about the syllabus or the readings or the videos or really anything. I'm happy to answer any questions, provide insight, schedule meetings. If you're struggling with some of the material, struggling with the writing assignments, just reach out to me via email and we will get you set up. I want to see you all succeed and learn a ton this semester and have a really, really successful 3.5 weeks. So I'm looking forward to working with you all, and I hope I get to hear from you all soon.